Here's a video of Dontay explaining to Hannah why him and his baby mother's relationship did not work out. So she's asking him why.
What happened? Like, what changed? Like, give me that.
Okay. To make a very long story short, me and the mother of my son broke up in 2020. It was like October of 2020. Mind y'all, we've been together for 2.5 years, right? I met her in like 2018. And me and her broke up because I wasn't doing my part as a man, right? I wasn't holding things down for us. I could never keep a stable job. I could never keep stable income. I mean, mind you, she stuck it out with me. Because when we first met, I was in my mom's crib. I didn't have a car, I didn't have a job. So she stuck with me for.
All right, so he explains to her that, he didn't have a job, he didn't have a car, he was at his mother's crib. And so I'm going to let them continue on this conversation, but he did admit to her why it didn't work out with his baby moms.
2 years straight, even when I couldn't get my life together. And the most embarrassing part about my relationship with her was the fact that I was at so many low points when I was with her that she had to hold things down for us when I couldn't. So even when she was pregnant with Leo, she had to work throughout her pregnancy because I couldn't hold a stable job.
Now you heard that. He said she even had to work during her pregnancy because he couldn't hold a job. He couldn't do that. Now, when he says he couldn't, I don't know if it's a mental thing. So let me back up. I don't know what his diagnosis is in terms of, does he have ADHD? Is he lazy? I don't know. But what I am saying, when you're a woman and you're actually getting the truth out of somebody, you have to take all that in. You have to ask yourself, if this man treats me the same way he treated, the woman before him, or the women before me, I meant to say before they got together, can you really handle that? And so he was honest. He was honest. He didn't lie. So I have to give him a little bit of credit for that, because one thing I did notice about him is Dontay London really isn't quote unquote exposable in a sense, because a lot of the things that we have discovered about him, we got straight off of his channel. That's where I got this video from. Straight off of his channel, But I didn't like the way he was treating the women he was with for more than likely content, just for content, So I didn't like that. Now, again, these are grown people. What you do is what you do. But let's get to the video because I can go on.
So that's why I never, blamed her or have any, feel any type of way that.
But he will find a way to somewhat blame her.
She didn't want to be with me no more because I knew that, she was pregnant and she needed my support. I was still pursuing YouTube. I didn't care about a job. You know what I'm saying? But that led us to being in so many situations where we sometimes didn't even have food to eat, where we had to ask my mom for money. So
I don't understand what Hannah is not picking up in this interview. She's so blinded by, oh, he cute and he like me and he knows what's going on with me and he's embracing that. And I am using the air quotes, embracing that. And it's like, no, he doesn't want to do what he needs to do, because he felt like he's going to blow up. Like, he felt in his heart of hearts that he's going to blow up. And in a sense, he did, but he didn't blow up in the way that he wanted to. He wanted to blow up by doing family vlogs. He blew up by, tapping into a trending topic that was going on YouTube, just like another YouTuber did. The other YouTuber, you know who she is. And she just goes from trending topic to trending topic, seeing what will stick. I don't really necessarily think that's a good method, but everybody, they gotta do what they gotta do.
She, I felt like she could have hung in there with me a little bit longer, right? Because she knew that even though I couldn't keep a stable job, I was still trying, right? I was.
Okay, so she should have hung in there a little bit longer because you were trying. Trying doesn't pay the rent, which I'm almost suspecting that maybe he's on disability because you can't really survive off of nothing, not for a long period of time. Yes, you can probably find somebody to live with for a little bit, but after yay so long, if you're not working, you gotta have some type of money. Unless you're literally living with a family member, they got money, they can cover you, they just love you so much, it doesn't matter if you work or not. But I'm under the impression that he probably don't have family like that can afford him and let him live with them forever. So I'm suspecting, I don't know, I'm suspecting he might be getting a check. So, anyways, that's just my little theory right there. But how much sacrificing should somebody do to prove to you that they're down for you? Working for 2 years while you're unemployed, while you're trying to get your YouTube career kicked off, that's devotion. That's pretty much devotion. And doing it while you're pregnant, and then to get kicked to the curb pretty much because you don't want to participate in a YouTube career that you've been trying to support for 2 years. And then you have a baby and it's like, oh shoot, I got to take care of this child. And he like, F that, we gonna blow up. So as people were saying, you need to learn how to do that and work at the same time. If you're a well-able-bodied man, you have to figure out how to work and do YouTube at the same time. Because you don't want to blow up for being, considered foolish. You don't want to blow up because people are talking about you because you can't get it together. That's not the way that you want to blow up. Now, I am saying this sincerely, because I'm not monetized. I don't get nothing off of making these videos. Not on, I got another channel that's monetized, but I don't get nothing for making these videos. I'm serious. And again, this is not to shame Hannah, because again, a lot of us have been that girl that fell for somebody that talked a good game, we thought was cute. Oh, he got dark chocolate skin, or your flavor might be light skin. When I was younger, it was light skin. I like brown skin. I like it. It doesn't really matter. It really doesn't matter. But when you're younger, you're more fixated on, oh, he got light eyes, and you just more fixated on things that don't matter. But she got caught up in a mix, and I was watching somebody else's video, Mike Barbecue, and he really he really like honed in on the fact that Dontay did talk a good game. He pretty much, like I said, embraced all that she was, but when it came down to actually being in a relationship and really being married for real, you can see he don't know how to be in a relationship. He know how to talk a good game. He know how to reel people in. He know how to, make these romantic gestures and bubble baths. You can see it on my first video. When I scroll through all his videos, I'm just scrolling at the titles. I'm not playing the videos, but he done the bubble bath trick before and put it on camera. Like, this is nothing new. And that's very romantic. If you're a woman and you see this guy, he going all out his way for you. So I didn't want this video to be too long, but I have to commend him for his honesty. I will give him that. But at the same time, just because you're honest doesn't make it necessarily okay for you to still not do what you need to do if you can do it, and putting it, and I don't know what happened, because she was going along with the channel. She's sitting up there. Look at, you can see it for yourself. She's in his shorts, dancing with him. I mean, she's a great singer. She has a beautiful voice, and he know how to dance. And he's always there. I don't know if she sang by herself, but I know he's there dancing in the background. The next thing you know, they're just dancing. She just, it seemed like she stopped singing. So I don't know. But anyways, cautionary tale, just get to know somebody. I think if she would have got to know him maybe for a good year and a half to 2 years, she would have seen all this. Don't move too fast, but I don't want to, kick somebody while they're down, but hopefully somebody can learn from this. And I think he's a narcissist personally, but if it's something else going on, I hope that he gets help. I really do, because this can't make him feel good about himself. So if you know that you need help, if you know that you have a problem, get help. Simple. Just get help. And as far as Hannah, I don't know what to say. You said yes. You took the vows. You said the vows. So now you gotta figure out what you want. People are saying, oh, she went back to her parents' house. I don't have any confirmation of that. I don't, nobody took a screenshot of a Facebook post of her saying that. So I don't know how true that is. I don't want to sit up here and say, try to work it out. If somebody is just mentally, abusive, I don't think he's physical with her. I think, he would be the type that would intimidate someone, but not like straight hit them, because he's not the jail type. He don't want to go to jail. He said he don't like authority, and trust me, somebody telling him when to get up, I don't think he's the type that would do well in jail. And people calling him sweet and zesty and all that. I mean, he would be somebody's girlfriend for sure. But, if there's some sexuality issues going on with him, then he might need to confront that and decide where he want to be. Because if you don't want to be with a woman, don't waste women's time. I don't know. This is what people are saying. I can't really say for sure, even though he did dress up in his baby mama outfit, but I ran out of clean clothes, and me and my man was washing one day, and I wore his stuff. But it wasn't like I was just doing it to do it. I needed a shirt, and I needed something to wear while my clothes was being washed. So hey, it is what it is. But all right, I'm rambling, and this is why I didn't want to redo the video, but it was extremely low. So give it a thumbs up if you got something out of this, and I hope they get it together at the end of the day. I really do. But if you keep it up, if this is the type of attention that you want, this is what you're gonna get. And again, as far as Hannah, I know as a when I was younger than you, I fell for the okie doke too. I did get out of it, but hey, it is what it is. You got to learn.